I got off the boat and there was no turning back. This is it, I said, It was winter time, not many people about, but I did notice a small crowd of oddballs sitting in the nearest cafe. I think one of them was Leonard Cohen. He too was looking around in a daze, not believing what he had found. Anyway, I wasn't ready to join them at that stage. And so I went around until I found a house to live in. What kind of a house was it? It was a house overlooking the sea, built on rocks, hadn't been lived in for ages. So all the windows were broken. The roof was about to collapse. So I set about fixing it up. What joy. Every morning I'd go out and sit there and type a couple of pages in a battered old typewriter and look around me and think, Jesus Christ, where am I? 7 years I lived like that. 7 most revealing years of my life. I went broke after 7 years, you see. No money for the wine. Couldn't cover the bread. So I had to jump in the sea. I let hunger take me. But the sea was rough. Even the fishermen couldn't put out. It was winter time. The boats were pulled up on the shore. But I had to go in. Hunger was motivating me. I jumped into the water like a madman. Up and down I went. Nothing. I couldn't even see the bottom of the sea. It was too rough. And it was cold. I was shaking. Up and down I went, up and down, with just a kamaki, which is a long pole with a fork on the end of it, and a mask on my face. After being thrown here and there for some considerable time and freezing, I started to make my way to shore. I thought the Lord had deserted me. But no, just before I got to shore, peering down into the murky darkness, I saw what looked like an octopus. And down I went with my pole outstretched and managed somehow to pierce it. Almost cost me my life trying to get up again. But I got up and he was on the end of the pole, as far as I knew. And I carried on towards the shore where all the fishermen were sitting, watching this madman. And just before I got to the shore, exhausted and battered, but with my catch on the end of it, looking down in the water again, at the bottom of the sea, I saw a 50 drachma banknote floating around in the murky depths. Too far for me to go, too exhausted I was. But no, a voice inside me said, persist. Down I went again as far as I could and stretched out my paw. And the octopus, which was still on the end of it, took the money in its tentacles. And up I came with it, with the fishermen by then all standing, wondering if I was going to make it or not. And out I staggered onto the quay, with not only an octopus on the end of the pole, but the octopus holding a 50 drachma banknote. And all the fishermen on the quay looked at me. And I pointed to the octopus and I said, that's for the stomach. I pointed to the 50 drachmas in its tentacles and said, that's for the wine, for all of us. And yes, we celebrated that magic moment, that catch in the local taverna that night.